Really warm welcome back to the Algarve, and it is stifling. Somebody's really cranked the hot weather button down here. It's been 30 plus all week, and today, which is Thursday, it's going to be 37, so you can guarantee inland here it's probably over 40 degrees. So I was supposed to get up about 5 o'clock and start planting in the field the watermelons, but I just have not been sleeping very well for the last 3 days. I've been wide awake and my mind won't switch off. So I'll just fill you in with what has been happening here. I've taken a few weeks off filming. Sometimes you have to take a step back, and it was just one of those times. Spencer decided to go back to the UK. Izzy came on holiday and Spencer decided to go back to the UK with her. So he's managed to get a job which is 10 minutes away from his father's. So it's worked out really well for him. I mean, I'm obviously going to miss him a huge amount and sitting out and watching the stars, but he's 22 and I've always said to him that you have got to do what's right for you, and whatever that is. And just because living in the Algarve with Abe is our dream, because to us it's perfect weather most of the time, you know, you're living in nature and harmony, and Spencer does actually really love and appreciate all that. The fact is, he missed Izzy too much, she missed him too much, and he missed his friends. If you are moving here with teenagers and they're not going to school here, it is very difficult for them to actually make friends. Spencer is a really sociable person, he gets on with everybody, but you go to the local bar and they're mainly old Portuguese farmers, which, you know, for his age group he needs somebody more his age to hang around with. And it was the right decision for him. It's worked out well and it was like meant to be. We do actually live quite isolated here, and even if we go to one of the live bands, there's only a couple of people around his age. It's hard watching people you love struggle, even though if he'd have come here with Izzy, I don't think he would have left. I don't think either of them would have left. If he'd have come over here with his friends, he would probably still be here. But it is difficult when you're 22 years of age, unless you're quite an insular person coming to live over here. So yeah, it is. Obviously I'm going to miss him loads, but it is the right call for him, and I'm sure he'll come over a lot. I'm hoping he'll come over a lot. You know, it is his second home here, so it's all worked out for him. So, and well, on the planting side, we are all guns go with the watermelons. I must say that I have planted probably 1,800 watermelons, and I would say probably 1,200 have come up, and out of them I don't know how many I will lose in the field. We'll just have to see. So yeah, so anyway, I will show you around the polytunnel. I've had a cross-pollination with I think a courgette and a melon. I'll show you it. Hang on. So it is there, and it is like it's supposed to be a courgette. I didn't actually plant it. Another two here. Yeah, I didn't actually plant it, and we've got 3 of them. I did have courgettes in here. They do look like courgettes, but it looks like a cross-pollination with a melon. So I'm getting like round balls. I'm sure it'll be fine to eat, but anyway, let me show you what I'm doing this year to protect the peaches. So last year we lost all the peaches to a hailstorm, and it was in mid-May, and they got totally wiped out. They got bruised, and the ants ate them and the birds ate them. So this year I put them in little organza bags, and they seem to be doing really well. So the ants can't get to them, and I'm hoping the birds can't get to them either. And I've actually left a peach that isn't quite right. That one's got the pectin coming out of it. So I am actually just leaving that to the ants and the birds, because we can't be greedy, and obviously I'm sure they like peaches as well. But they're doing really, really well in the bags. The raised bed area is doing exceptionally well. There's only one thing that's really struggling, and it's the garlic, and I think that's probably because of the heat. But here I've got courgette, I've even got a little butternut squash, I'll show you in a minute. We've got potatoes, peppers, believe it or not, these are spring onions. I've got some aubergines, cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, and they're doing really well. I'm so pleased with this raised bed area. Let me give you a little tour. The cucumbers are actually, these cucumbers I grew from seed, and they are literally doubling in size at the moment. I cut a line of radishes down here, and they're coming up as well. Those are the potatoes. That is some mint that I put in. I actually bought it from Lidl's, and it seems to be happy there. I absolutely love this raised bed area. The quality of the soil is a lot better. We brought it in from the field, but because we've added sand to it, and obviously we've put a drip feed on it, the soil is just beautiful. So I've got the tomatoes in, and oh golly, I've got a tomato already. Oh, that makes me happy. And these are potatoes. Again, I didn't actually plant them. There must have been ones from last year that have self-seeded. And on here we've got a little row of peppers, which they're doing really well for quite small plants. And I'm going to be popping in some more tomatoes. I did actually plant 250, and again, not all of them have come up, and they are taking quite a while to grow, but once I've actually put them in here, they're doing so well. We have got some giant spring onions. So the raised bed area has been a huge success this year, I think, so far. Everything seems to be growing beautifully. Just noticed the moon up there. And the figs are coming out. So I will show you the fig tree. The figs are coming up there. You see this tree behind me? It's a golden plum tree. And last year we had loads of white blossom. It was absolutely stunning. Loads of bees around it, buzzing away. And this year, I don't know, very short-lived and not even one plum. We have another plum tree as well. Last year we had lots and lots of beautiful plums on it. I've only got one plum. Well, we've been busy planting the watermelons in the field, but some of them have turned out not to be watermelons. I think I've planted some cucumbers in here, some aubergines in here, and probably some squashes in here as well, but we'll just have to see how they go. Just listening to the birds. By the way, the knees are better now, so it took 3 weeks. I actually gave this a really hard prune last year. But look, starting to get grapes. It's amazing actually. The ground is so dry at the moment. I can't even remember the last time it rained. 3 weeks ago we had really cloudy skies when Izzy came over, and I can't remember. Yeah, it did rain, but we haven't had any rain since, and the ground is just so dry. It really is. It's like being in a Western film. Cost an absolute fortune. He bought it when we started to renovate the house in Alt 5 years ago, and I think it was about €700 then. Right, it's an absolute monster. I don't know if I can even pick it up. Look at that monster of a thing. Anyway, it was working, but I think some of the oil had leaked out of it. So I took it back to the shop where he bought it, which was like a local DIY shop, and sent it off to be re-pressurised oiled or something. Anyway, they wanted €275 to do it, which is a ridiculous amount of money. Anyway, he said, I'll have it back, please. I think it's out of my price range for mending it, even though it's a really expensive drill. So anyway, he got it back, and he's got it back in pieces. These are the pieces for it. And I'm absolutely furious about it. It wasn't a cheap item. I think he should go back to the DIY shop where he bought it from and tell them to put it back together. But Abe being Abe, he will struggle and try and put it back together himself. Whether he does or not is another thing. But that's not how you treat people's belongings. You know, it's especially when it costs a lot of money. On that note, no, it hasn't been fixed yet. nobody's come back to mend it, and that was reported, I think it was the 17th of February. So Abe said that he's going to buy an ignition for it and just fit it himself, because they're wanting €50 to come out and fit the £30 part, which I think it's quite an easy job to do. But yeah, the pellet burner, although we really don't need it now and we haven't needed it for months, huge mistake on our part, especially when it cost as much money as it did, which at the time it was €1,449 at the time when we bought it. So big mistake on our part, you know. When we get round to doing the ruin, it'll be salamander all the way, or as you would say, a log burner. But yeah. Coco, Coco, Coco. Coco, come here. Coco.